Welcome everyone to the Onward VR Master League. I am your host Monorchid, and I'll be solo casting this one today. We got beginners versus boss fight coming up for you in the custom map pool tourney, whatever it's called, week 3. This should be an interesting one. Both of these are top teams in the EU bracket. You don't see a ton of EU games, so this should be really interesting as well, just to see it on that side of things. See the way that they decide to play compared to the NA style that we all know and love. We got Sand, Quarantine, and Bazaar. This is a fixed map pool tournament where each week has set maps and a set order. So starting with Sand, going to Quarantine, ending on Bazaar. It should be really awesome to see. We're going to jump into a quick intermission. When both teams are ready to go, we'll get started. And just so everyone's aware, there's no bans as well. And like I said, no map picks. It's just home gets to be or choose if they want to be Marsoc or Volk on maps 1 and 2 or 1 and 3, while the away team gets to choose on map 2. So we're going to see how this one plays out. Do stick around, and we'll get started soon. Welcome everybody. We're about to get started here. I hear the round timer ticking down. And here we go. We are ready to start round one on sand. This is a custom map by Kois. Should be an interesting matchup between beginners and boss fight, having to play on a map that they don't necessarily, or well, I guess they don't have nearly as much experience as they do on the official maps that we know and love and been playing for a very long time. There have been a few changes here and there, especially in 1.8, but you know, things change. First shots ring out. Smoyle's already up in the front line. He's going to run into 35 and Legel at any point here. Radar head, UC Death and Viper pulling up more on the east side of the map here, getting into higher positions, ready to try and engage any enemies that come by. Pause taking out 35, and the long shot from on top of this roof, which has been a very key point in a lot of these casts that we've been seeing lately. Pause here, getting a little aggressive, trying to, you know, just get some of those early picks, maybe grab another and the likes of Legel here, who is just holding steady, waiting for them to make an aggressive defensive movement to, you know, go off their previous play. Pause, though, taken out by Radar Head. Smoyle's getting that quick refrag, though, not letting his death go in vain. See what's going on over here. Viper and UC Death just taking it slow. They're checking all their corners. They have the time to move up and just be really cautious without having to expose themselves needlessly, going around corners too aggressively. But it's going to be tough. Killinger is in a great position up in the second story here, as long as he doesn't get shot by his friendlies there. He can watch the center of the map, keep it locked down from the likes of Viper and UC Death, while Smoyles keeps kind of the back side of this, or I guess north side of the building, covered. I guess more like the west side of the building covered, where Killingers and Icy Woods don't really have great vision here. Legel, though, continuing his slow push up here. He's going to have to really worry about like the likes of Smoyles, who is back and behind, getting a little aggressive here. Kind of worked out for him, though, because Legel looks like he was going to have the drop on him. You see Death picks Tragic. Ooh, just missing Smoyles here, and he catches him. Smoyles tries to respond, but Legel getting the shot on target there, and he should be pretty safe here as long as Killinger or Woods doesn't get too aggressive there. Shots close to Woods, not quite on target, forces him to back up just a tad there. Smoke coming out from Viper, trying to get their attention. Maybe, you know, cause them to look the wrong way at the wrong time. Let's look at the map here. We got one still on the defense, kind of up in the upper story in the back area, going up and down, one in the center building. And they got three for boss fight still alive here. Viper coming in on the top here, getting really aggressive. Killinger was forced to move off the center building, go back to objective, and now Woods is going to have to worry about his rear while still trying to watch and support Killinger on his approach there. He's very close to the enemy. It just depends on how aggressive Viper wants to get here. Possibly if he goes too aggressively, Killinger could support Woods. If he continues this push onto him, it just really depends on how they want to play this one out. He's got a good position, though. Hiding behind these boxes, they're going to be forced to come to him and really expose themselves, really commit to that push if they want to continue going for that one. You can see Killinger, he's just having to go all over the place to try and guard this, as they could be coming from any direction, and if they don't watch the straight in here that Woods had locked down pretty good, there could be a cap. So there's a lot of trust here between Killinger and Icy Woods. You can see Viper here, he is going, you know, for the sneaky play, trying to get over the objective. If Woods doesn't catch this, we could possibly see a cap. Woods catches UC Death. Viper takes this opportunity to try and rush for the objective, but Woods catches him. He's not going to let that cap happen on his watch. And there we go. Beginners takes round one. That was an explosive first round that we had there. We had a lot of great movements. I liked how both teams took their time. We saw some great forward positions from beginners on the defense here. Smoyle's position here was in a great crux to try and just stop any kind of push going down the center alley here. And they had two in the center building, which is an amazing defense spot. You could just see how powerful Icy Wood was, just hiding behind this little box, able to just cover the objective, and also, you know, cover himself in a pinch when he's the last one up on this building and having to defend himself and still watch the objective. And you could see how well he did that, even with the distraction of UC Death and Viper running across. He was able to watch his back while also watching the objective. Got a good push back from Killinger too. I mean, you know that you're the last two up. You know one has to be on the objective covering that. If not, you could get a kind of situation where they come in through the back here and get a cap before you can even see them. So really good moves from both teams on that one. And honestly, you know, being Marsoc on this map can sometimes be really difficult once the defenders get a good defensive line set up. So that push from Boss Fight was working really well. It just unfortunately stumbled right at the end there from the excellent defense of Icy Woods.
Actually, I can take some help hold OBJ.
Round two about to start up here. Now we got Boss Fight on the defense. Let's see if they can match Beginner's excellent defense from last round.
Good luck, dude.
Got two going towards objective. Three getting pretty aggressive. One going through the radar building. Killinger and UC Death very, very close to each other. Should run into each other right away. UC Death able to get an ambush onto Killinger. Stragic picking up 35 as well. In the back line. Now UC Death is kind of in a precarious spot. He's surrounded by Smiles, Pause, and Stragic coming from the rear, and he really needs to get in out of that position before he gets caught. Icy Woods, though, on that nice snap fire, able to get an excellent shot, taking out UC Death and opening this side of the objective for a push. Oh, replays are broken again. Sorry about that. No replays today. That's all right, though. We don't need them. Legel, though, on the second story, maybe trying to get a pick onto the likes of Smoils. Kind of difficult, though. Smoils would really have to show his face there. Viper, though, in some kind of ambush position. I didn't even know he was back there, honestly. Able to pick up a pick there. Radar Hard picking up Pause as well. Kind of also getting quite aggressive for the defenders here. I mean, if an attacker came through this backside, he would be able to shoot Radar Head, but no, he's pretty confident in his moves here, and it really played out well for him. As now Icy Woods and Smoils are more on the defensive here and having to deal with these Boss Fights kind of like pushed up aggressive defense. It's working really, really well. Let's see. You can see here Smiles is really concerned about a flanker. Checking over at Icy Woods there. Just watching the back line. Got a full 4 minutes to work with, so definitely taking their time trying to get those picks, allowing them to move up without having to deal with so many angles at the same time. Pretty much the crux of an aggressive attack. Icy Woods, though, looks like he's going to start pushing up, go into the center building here, get another forward position where he can have the high ground on the enemy. Viper, though, in a really interesting spot in that he's not immediately visible to any attack, but he should be able to catch them when they run around the corner here and shoot them in the side or the back when they least expect it. And he shouldn't be visible, most importantly, from the building that Icy Woods is on, the center building here. He has very few actual weaknesses. Everything that could kill him, he can see as well. So that's a really great spot to be playing. Meanwhile, Smoils is in the same building here again, just looking for those picks. Nothing quite to pick up here. It looks like Boss Fight has mostly decided to just hold steady. And speaking of holding steady, Legel, nice shot on the Icy Woods there. Let's just see what his angle looked like. He probably just shot him in the feet there, and you know, took him out really well. Seeing from him through this tiny little crack, And you can see Smoils going to take the same position. Let's see if Legels can get a 2 for 2.
Yeah, I'm gonna sit on objective.
Looks like he's just going to get straight on the objective. I mean, basically, the worst way to lose right now would be to get capped on. So getting right on objective is probably a good move to take here. Although he is really quite exposed to the likes of Smoils, who looks like he might come around here, expose himself just a tad. Could catch Legel on a really nice snapshot from him. Just seeing the peak of his head, able to take him out, quickly using this time to reposition before the defenders can come in behind him or otherwise get a great position against him. And you can see right here that his game plan isn't to push the objective aggressively, it's to get those picks and win on kills. See what he chooses to do here. He has 1:30 left. Looks like he's going to go more for kind of a rear flank here. Use these back passages in order to get the flank on without being necessarily seen from the enemy. But he should be running into Viper when he comes to this doorway. And these doorways are honestly really deadly. These kind of like, you have to peek, you have to expose yourself. And Viper is going to have a great shot on him. So let's see what happens here in this engagement. You see right there, Viper's position work dividends there, able to pick up Smoils and give Boss Fight their first point. Excellent round yet again. I really was quite impressed with Boss Fight's aggressive defense there. They were able to push out a little bit, get those picks, and then fall back into defensive positions where they knew that their allies could cover them. So they just kind of went out there, got the joust on, able to take out Killinger right off the start. I believe it was right here. Getting him when he was going around the corner, going for the center building, thinking he was going to be able to make it no problem, but not expecting UC Death to just be right around the corner, taking him out and creating quite a headache for the offense, forcing them to stop and get that refrag, which allowed the rest of their team, like Viper, getting into really good secondary positions behind this box, which worked really well for them. Able to get those picks and stay in a defensive position where they don't have to really worry about getting picked off by the offense. I mean, that's what you're looking for when you're Marsoc on this map. It's getting those picks, getting into these really, really good secondary or second story kind of spots where you can get those picks. And that's what we saw from Smoils right here, able to get that really, really, honestly, excellent shot just right over there, right next to that box on the other side of that wall, the rock wall there, and getting that pick. And that's what he was looking for. That's what they needed to get and win this objective. When you're down one, it's about picks. I mean, sometimes you'll get lucky and, the objective will be open, but really, usually you're going to win on kills. You're going to use that kind of guerrilla warfare in order to get the picks that you need to win. Looks like we got a reset here. Next objective going to be the South Middle Market objective. No real concrete callouts. I mean, a few teams have them, but really a lot of them are kind of on the unknown. And this one, I think, is one of the spiciest objectives of this map. Trying to defend this one, there's not really that many great spaces to be, or places to be next to the objective. Pretty much everywhere you go, you're going to be heavily exposed to a common Marsoc attack path. When you come up, I mean, for example, if you're right here, you can be seen from the front and you're very, very grenadable, and honestly really, really obvious that someone's probably going to be there. You got these back paths to come in very, very, very close to objective. And I mean, I think, as far as I know, these walls, these kind of cloth walls are penetrable, so you can't even hide in the objective too well without exposing your sides. So let's see how this one plays out. Beginners are defending it up next. You can see here that they're not really putting anyone on objective. Everyone's kind of pushing out, getting quite aggressive. Radar head and Icy Woods get into contact. Viper getting that frag off. Radar Edge should be able to get her revive off here. Now Smoils is going to have to pull double duty here on this defense. And this is honestly a very, very common defensive or attack spot for Marsoc on this objective. Legel, meanwhile, gets a kill in the far side of the map here. Radar Head and Viper continuing to push up. Pause picks up UC Death. And now they're both kind of stuck behind these center boxes, Pause and Smiles, knowing the kill count, pushing forward to get just a little bit more aggressive on them, using their own smoke against them to get up and in position. Flash comes out, perfect flash, able to pick up Pause, who is not able to respond due to that same flash. Smiles having to defend here. Radar Head and Viper very, very close to objective. You can see Smoils having to watch around his backside, but then cover his front. Viper able to pick him up, and he's very close to objective. Killinger trades with Viper, giving Boss Fight their second point. That was an awesome round. I mean, see, that's what you have to worry about. I think, like I said, this objective is a tad on the Marsoc side there, but you kind of need those on maps that you play, because every objective is Volk focused, almost, you know, unless it's like this one where it's Marsoc focused. What I'm trying to say is by default is Volk focused. So having these ones which kind of throws the paradigm on its head really helps out the game balance, and it keeps things fresh, because the Volk will have to keep themselves on their toes and have to come up with new defensive plans that are going to have to deal with these really open and wide objectives, or otherwise an objective that has a bit more of a glaring weakness than you're used to in a normal defense. But as far as the actual attack goes, we had a really slick attack. Wasn't able to kind of see what happened on the far side of the map. We just kind of had tit for tat picks over there. But this concentrated push that we saw, it was really awesome to see, because it kind of went, it was Marsoc. Marsoc got the pick. They had the upper hand. And then it went to Volk, and they had a almost total surround on them. They used their own smoke against them. They were in ambush positions, but knowing that they were probably going to see that flash was pivotal, allowing them to get that push forward, push towards the objective, and ultimately get the last kill, giving them the point. I think it was mirrored spawns from beginners here. Should be able to get run up here and get these quick picks here. Radar Head, Viper, and UC Death pushing across. Viper, or Pause not quite able to pick up Viper, will know his position, so Smoils and Icy Wood should be aware. A good grenade could be really useful, but he's not going to be able to do that, as thrown C4 from Viper, able to pick up Smoils there. Gets the confirm, just barely misses getting taken out by Icy Woods, and then picks up Icy Woods too. Viper on a roll here, completely destroying this eastern or southeastern push here. Pause now in kind of a defensive position, ready for them to push up onto his position, knowing that they have those two picks there. Killinger just about to grab 35, but Stragic able to get the total confirm on him. Good teamwork from those two right there. And now it's kind of anyone's game. Viper picking up Pause, putting it quite a bit into Boss Fight's favor here. 4-on-2. Viper completely taking out this eastern push there, and it was really unfortunate as Pause was shooting at him as he crossed the street there, and sometimes you can just run through bullets. not even talking about leg, guys. I'm not talking about leg. Just sometimes Lady Luck's in your favor. Radar in a great position here, and the second story of this mechanic building, able to use all of its secondary spots to his advantages. But you can also fling yourself off, causing you to have to use your own heal items. So it's kind of a double-edged sword. Sword there. Words. I can do it. Killinger playing a bit more of defensive here, knowing that they're down to 2, is gonna have to really, bridge the gap by getting a couple of picks. And he's doing that by hoping that Viper gets aggressive, which we have seen in the past before, knowing that he's kind of on a roll. You kind of get in that feeling that you can just continue your push, just aggressive and maybe sweep the enemy team. But going against beginners, I don't think that's really going to happen here. You can see Viper already pulled back to the objective here. Strategic just having to try and deal with this current situation, just continue pushing up here and knowing that eventually he's going to have to expose himself. He's going to have to continue this push if they want to continue moving towards objective. 3 minutes and 30 seconds left here, and Legel is in a great spot to try and get kind of like a ambush kill onto the back of one of the beginners, maybe Strategic, and he also has C4 on the back wall where they're not necessarily going to be looking when they come out the door checking for targets. And get a cheeky C4 kill, and we might see that coming up in just a bit here. Just depends on when Strategic fully decides to commit to that push. Meanwhile, Killinger again just sitting on the same building, the storage building. It looks like he's starting his push now. Starting to move up here. Pretty concerned about the repair building here. He's been looking at it quite a bit, and for good reason. Radar Head is in there and ready to try and get an ambush position. And just like pretty much every round we've seen Killinger or just anybody trying to take this middle ground to get this position, let's see how this engagement is going to pull out here. Strategy has been pretty quiet, so Legel might not know that he's about to come around the corner, but he looks pretty aware here. And Strategic cutting the pie really effectively, looking for any kind of players around this corner without exposing himself, and then able to come around and at least get the trade, giving Killinger a fighting chance. But Killinger has 3 enemy players to deal with, only 2 minutes left on the clock, so it's going to be really difficult for him to come out ahead on this one. But it has been done before, and I do believe Killinger has what it takes to win a 3v1. But we'll see how this one goes. Definitely going to be a tough one way or another. Very close defensive position from Boss Fight here, knowing that if they do get up and on the cap, it could be very devastating for them. Gonna be tough though. Radar Head is in a great position to foil any kind of push from Killinger, and if he spends this time, which it kind of looks like that's what he's been setting up for, to clear that out, he might just run out of time. Let's see Radar Head using these really tight angles to try and catch them, or catch Killinger unaware, and he hears the movement right next to him. Killinger pushing up on the objective here, gets the pick onto Radar Head. Excellent shot and movement from him, able to come up from behind and still come out ahead there. See how he chooses to push this one. He's getting kind of quicker here. He's got only a few minutes left, or a few moments left, I guess. 40 seconds left on the clock. He gets the pick here. Let's see if UC Death able to get him in the back, just missing him. He goes around the corner, and now Killinger is in a duel with UC Death, and he comes out of winning the 3v1. Wow. Well, there you have it, folks. Called that one. Killinger, true to his name, able to kill the enemy there. Able to come out ahead. What an explosive round from him. He used the full time on the clock. He get the advantageous positions, look for those picks, and plan his attack in such a way to cut the team in half. Or basically in thirds here, as he was able to do a series of 1v1s. And that's key. That's key for any people watching this. This is something you should try and emulate. When you're the last person, your goal is to get those picks in such a way that you don't just immediately get taken out yourself. And on the flip side, as the 3 versus 1 or whatever ratio defenders left, be in a position to cover the objective, but also be able to cover one another. If someone dies to that kind of last guerrilla one-man stand player, you should expect it. But you should be able to immediately get that refrag, cover your friendlies, and just win on attrition. Because 1 kill for 1, if they have 1 left, you're going to win the round. So really, really beautifully played from Killinger on that one. Able to pull that one back for his team. And I'm sure you got some pats on the back for that one. But no time. We're about to run into round 4. I put 5, but it's 4. No, 5. Yes. I can count, guys. I can count. Promise. See how this one plays out. Killinger immediately picking up 35 here. Nice quick spot. Able to immediately take the center building. 35 is resable, though. Killinger kind of looks like he's trying to go for a bait here. Pretty cheeky tactic there, especially since the body is client side and could be in a different spot for Legel. Smoke's coming out. Pause. Firing over the box here. You can kind of see them taking really nice defensive positions. Killinger picking them up, or both players there. His kind of bail or bait plan did work really well, and it's really hard for anyone to kind of challenge him, as he's extremely hard to see through these tiny little gaps. See what's happening over here. We did see a pick there. Radar Head is down. Resable, but in a tough position. Smoils tucked into this radar building. It's going to be really tough for anyone to really challenge him without coming in and on his position. I mean, even knowing where he is, it's going to be difficult, as you won't really be able to see the muzzle flashers as he's in the building. But with some smoke and some luck, Legel is picked up by UC Death, able to get around Killinger's watchful eye there on the center building. But no matter which way they go, they're going to have to deal with either Paz or Killinger. And so this push is in a tough spot right now. Let's see, do they have anything to say here?
Yeah, exactly on me. You're exactly on me now.
Trying to find the body here through the smoke can be difficult. The revive comes out, but Viper pays for it with his life, and now they're kind of in the same situation. Radar falls. That's the second time he's fallen from that spot, downing himself. That's second down for him this round. The UC Death using the full 100 rounds to his advantage, getting that suppressive fire onto the likes of Icy Woods and possibly Smoils if he chooses to push forward here, allowing his team to get kind of some movement here. And we see some of that right here as Legel has pushed up. He is in the building, but the problem is he's down below. He's not going to have a great vision on any players above unless they expose themselves to those windows. But if he continues his slow push here, he should be able to come up on Killinger. That said, UC Death continues his suppressive fire. Ah, darn. Legel able to come around that corner, get Killinger. Radar Head picking up Pause. Suddenly the center building completely taken by Boss Fight, which is going to be critical here, as they are now going to be able to kind of lock down this objective, maybe get a pick on this Stragic if he continues to peek too much, but he's in a pretty tucked in position. Radar Head continuing that suppressive fire through that door with all those bullets that he's got. 300 bullets, I believe, is standard loadout there for him with the SA-80. Frag comes out on his old position, but he did pull back, so he will be safe for right now. Viper, resable, but in a tough position for a res, so we might not see one this round. It kind of looks like Boss Fight has given up on that res, instead opted to continue moving and not expose themselves to any more possible picks through that doorway, where Smiles has been very, very effective. I wish I would have stayed on Legel there. It would have been good. Speaking of Legel, Stragic picks up Legel there, getting a little bit aggressive on this western side. UC Death in a good position to try and get a pick on the Stragic. That double peek cost Stragic his life. UC Death able to get the refrag. Now Smiles and Icy Woods taking opposite corners in this building to defend the objective. So Radar Head able to push up onto the objective here. Still's got his drum magazine, so at least he has that available to him. Now able to lock down this door for the most part, allowing UC Death to get a nice push-up position. Would be pretty good to get a revive right about now, as Viper's probably going to die any moment now. Oh, and he's gone. Now it's just up to Radar Head and UC Death. We'll see how these players, choose to push the objective, as they are going to have to breach that building. They're not going to be able to just sit in the back here, and you can kind of see some fire coming out, and Smoils getting a little bit aggressive, picked up by Radar Head, and not sure what happened to the last guy there. Maybe a drop? Maybe he got picked and I didn't notice? Nope, a drop. Either way, that's how the cookie crumbles. Boss Fight able to pick up another map point on Sam. Good round. Honestly, looked extremely in beginners' favor. They had it locked down, but through some key plays, some key movements, Legel getting up and behind and able to come up behind Killinger here, who definitely didn't expect him to be in the building, staying quiet the whole time to use that stealth to his advantage, was able to pick Killinger and then continue that push, pick a pause, and then just get the high ground around objective and just pick them off, pick the defenders off there, force them to stay inside the building to defend it. And while it's a defensive position, just chilling in the building here, the use of utility would have been devastating. We could have seen, you know, flashes and smoke and frags, and it, you know, what looks like a very defensible position could easily turn sour and into a fast cap. So that kind of peaky defense that we saw from Smiles popping out of the doorways, probably warranted against a team like Boss Fight, who's gonna use any advantage they can and punish very, very static defensive play. Looks like Icy Woods is back and ready to rumble. Viper doing a bit well for himself. 9-4. Good job, buddy. Kind of on a tear there, especially just recalling back to that round when he runs across the street, just dodging fire left and right, able to get in and take 3 players on head on too. So really good shots from him in reaction time. Sometimes you just go on a tear and it feels awesome. I think we all know how that one feels. Looks like we're about to get started. Round 6 could be the map decider on this one, if Boss Fight are able to pick up another point.
Just 5 kills, and we've got the map.
Some early smokes from the defenders. Kind of interesting. Icy Woods pushing forward with Pause and Killinger in tow, going for the north push. No one's really actually trying to stop them. In fact, they're all taking really interesting positions that I'm not used to. Nobody's going for the center building. Everyone's kind of going for these kind of cheeky ambush spots, which actually has been working pretty well for him. But it kind of looks like Stragic and Smoils are aware of this style play. They are looking for these kind of aggressive pushes from the likes of Legel. So we're going to have to see how that plays out. The push on the north is continuing steadily, but they're not finding anyone to look at, and that's kind of concerning. When you don't know where the enemy is, it can be pretty scary to continue pushing, because eventually you're going to run into one of them, and that's what we've been seeing from Boss Fight so far this game, is those kind of cheeky spots where you come around a corner and they shoot you in the side before you even know what's happening. Icy Woods taking the second story position on the storage building, looking for anybody on the center building. Will not be able to find anyone. UC Death possibly in a bad spot coming up now if they do take the center building, but Stragic very close to Legel, but not aware necessarily that Legel's right there, as Legel's been really quiet. No C4 from him. Looks like he still has it on his chest, so he could do some kind of thrown C4 play. Hearing a couple different footsteps. Smoils, though, getting aggressive. Shots are ringing out, but he's about to come around this corner here. Will Smoils come on the top? But nope, Legel gets the pick onto him. Now he's throwing a C4 around the corner here, looking for that refrag. Blows that C4 up, not quite able to get him. Stragic doesn't really look like he knows what's happening here, but he has turned towards the Legel's defensive push here, keeping his head low, waiting for him to come around the corner in order to get his own ambush kill back onto Legel here. We'll have to see how that one plays out. If he pulls any utility, though, it could be deadly for him, as Stragic would be able to use that to his advantage and get a push on. In fact, Legel has no idea where Stragic is here. quite exposed there. It depends on if Stragic chooses to continue peeking here. Shots ring out from Icy Woods across the way here, but not really coming up onto anybody. Stragic able to come around the corner, pick up a Ledgel, getting eventually getting that refrag off. Slow but steady, that's all that matters. He got the refrag. Radar Head, though, pushing up, though, into his own kind of position here in order to get the drop onto Stragic, and we'll see who comes out ahead here. In fact, Stragic looks like he's aware frag goes through the door. Radar Head, though, pretty far back, and he's definitely aware that someone is around this corner and aware of him. Viper, though, no one knows about Viper. Sneaky, sneaky Viper. He continues waiting there. He might get a pick, but looks like Stragic's opting to move around now that everyone basically knows his position, get closer to his teammates where he can be supported.
Yo, I'm gonna start pushing the mid-row building at 2:30.
Everyone just looking for those pushes from boss fight, knowing everything's on the line for him here for this map. If they do lose this one, it will be pushed to the next map with a win for boss fight. Push continues here. Killinger taking the second building here. Pause. Just watching for any kind of movement on the street here. 35 UC Death and Radar Head quite close, but in their tucked positions. I do kind of like this defense. It's growing on me, actually. Has worked really well for boss fight here. That said, it's a 4v4 still. There's still plenty of opportunities for both of these teams to come out ahead. But that said, Beginners has less than 2 minutes left on the clock. And, you know, without any time, they're going to have to make some brash pushes that they might not necessarily want to do. You see Death here, though, his position pretty exposed to the likes of Pause and Icy Woods if they choose to peek that. Looks like they're opting not to. They're going into this back building to get the furthest flank possible and might run into Radar Head if he... No, actually, never mind. He's on the side of the building here, and he will not be able to stop that push. But at the same time, they're really not going to be able to get anywhere. That said, UC Death has pushed up onto Killinger. He is aware of his position. He's trying to sneak up on him, just narrowly missing Killinger, who pushes back into a more defensive position. Icy Woods, though, almost taken out by UC Death. Killinger will be aware of his position now, able to pick up Icy Woods with that double peek there. Killinger coming down there, getting UC Death. Getting that nice refrag. Viper picking up Killinger, though, on the counter refrag. And then Stragic getting the refrag on the Viper. Ugh. Say that 3 times fast. Radar Head pushing up aggressively here. No one's shot Killinger, who does expose himself to give Pause that free kill onto Radar Head. That was excellent play from him. As a down person, your life is definitely not as valuable as a kill on the enemy team in most cases. 35, though, in a tough position, defending from both Stragic and Pause on opposite sides here. Picked up from Stragic. Beginners bring this to a 3-3. Whew. I need to slow down. This is too exciting. Kind of sucks, man. I wish I could see more of Beginners and boss fight and the other top teams on the east side. We just don't see them. We don't have enough casts of these EU matchups, and they're really interesting. And I'm honestly impressed at how well their attacks and defenses are set up for a custom map like Sand, especially since Sand was changed so drastically from its previous iteration. And teams have had to scramble and come up with new strategies for what amounts to basically a new map. It just kind of has that old Sand feel with kind of, you know, some of those hallways, the same looks, but just all these all new buildings that are really pivotal and change how the game plays in a dramatic fashion. I'm having fun. I hope you guys are enjoying yourselves. Thanks for showing up, being part of the cast, guys. Means a lot. Really awesome to see those numbers on the live cast as well. It really helps the league out to just get as many as possible, bring people into the league. You know, show that we got spunk, guys. We have the numbers. We just need to deploy them. Not that we'll be able to do this anytime soon, but what is everyone's thoughts on some kind of LAN tourney thing, kind of like we used to have, but maybe not as flashy? You know, once COVID's actually dealt with. But I think it would be really cool to meet some of you guys, get to play with you guys in person, and see how people do. And it's a completely lagless battlefield because everyone would be so close to each other. EU, US, everything. We would all be on the same network. I think it would be really freaking fun. Some alcoholic drinks probably be imbibed. Probably too much fun to be had. Who knows? Looks like boss fight switching a player out might be a minute. We're gonna jump into a quick intermission. Once they're ready to go, we'll jump straight back into the action, so stay tuned. About to get started, guys. Round 7. Whoever wins this map. So always remember, guys, it's not a competition. Legel and 35 pushing up here on the northern flank, trying to get into good positions to catch any defenders running through this doorway, which looks like beginners are going to play a bit more of a passive defense on this one, knowing that they have a pretty good compound to defend. Just kind of stay in tight and catch them when they come in close to the objective. Already C4 going off here, trying to go through the wall, maybe catch a quick pick onto any defenders who do push up too aggressively. Legel, though, pretty aware of that style of play, it looks like, as he pulled back just far enough. But a grenade comes around the corner from Killinger, picking up Legel. Not going to be able to get the confirm, unfortunately, and the red should be able to come off. Unless he gets really aggressive. But you can see here, 35, kind of expecting that. He's on the defensive for that. But man, sick grenade. C4 definitely, or the armor definitely shredded. Life is going to be wounded. So good move on his part. We got nice defensive positions. Icy Wood ready for anyone to come around this corner. Smoils as well. But flash already coming out here from 35. You will be able to push up and get that revive, but not before wasting some time and some utility in order to secure it in a better fashion without exposing himself too much. Radar head just sitting here, sitting pretty, looking for any kind of picks. Movement across the field here from the defenders. Pause almost in view for him, but just a little bit out of his view range, I'm pretty sure here. Let's see what he could possibly see from his angle there, and not quite on target. Smoils, though, firing up and over. Was there maybe a drone? Not quite sure there, but Smoils in a very, very good position to catch any defenders that goes through that door if Pause is not able to pick that up. Some smokes coming out from Radar Head and UC Death, allowing them to push forward on the street without being picked off, but not quite covering the street enough as they like. But that's not going to stop them from trying to get this cross. It looks like they're going to go around the backside a little bit more safe, at least for now, but not necessarily in the future. Let's see how this push shakes out. UC Death just, again, sitting in the middle here, making sure that no flanks come out from the likes of beginners, allowing his team to push confidently. And we will see some engagement here. Airburst frag just a little too early. Would have been really great and probably picked up Smoils if it was cooked just a little bit too late there. Flash around the corner there from Viber, able to grab Icy Wood. Smoils, though, on the clutch around the corner, covering his flashed ally. Excellent move from him, allowing Icy Woods to now get on the aggressive here, and he's pushing up onto Radar Head, who is pulled back all the way. Icy Woods pulling back into safety. Legel picking up Pause here. Now you see Death is pushing up. Legel also picking up Killinger. At some point, Stragic getting a team kill. Unfortunately, Radar Head coming around, getting a pick on Icy. What's happening, guys? Stragic picking up UC Death. I'm very confused. Everyone's dead. There's 2 live on each side now. Stragic and Smoils will have to defend this objective, but 35 in pretty clutch position in order to maybe get a pick on the Smoils when he doesn't expect it, or Stragic. If he's able to do that, he ooh, wow. Okay. Yeah, nice pick from both players there. It is now a trade. Neither player knows that a trade necessarily happened. They're now going to have to play as they're doing a 1v2 on both sides. Sorry, guys. I need a drink after all that. Okay. Now, Radar Head, now having to deal for a possible 1v2. He doesn't know, but it's just Smoils. And especially for an attacker, it's harder to know, because Smoils can go kind of check from his fallen ally's old position if he so chooses, but Radar Head on the opposite side, not really going to be able to. And you can see the frustration as he knows he has less than a minute and a half left at this point. Coming up on a minute and a half, and now he's going to have to do a quick rotation and try and get that pick onto a player that doesn't exist anymore. Saw a smoke as well from Smoils, I think, faking out that there was a res. Some mind games, and Radar Head actually in a really interesting position, just trying to catch the head of anyone, but unless they're against the very far wall, I don't think that's going to work for him. Smoils, though, have to pull his big boy pants up there and defend this objective all by himself. He's watching all these different possible angles that Radar Head could be coming from. That's the problem when you're the last defender, is the attack can come from literally anywhere. Let's see. See what he chooses to do. Going through the center doorway, probably a good pick. maybe catch Smoils if he rotates just a little too much. But Smoils doing a pretty good job to not expose himself too much. See you guys making fun of me in chat. You suck. I don't appreciate it. Oh, Raiderhead getting very, very close to objective there. Catches Smoils, getting the win for boss fight map 1. A little bit of a victory dance from Raiderhead there. Well deserved though. We are going to roll into map 2. As we all know, will be Quarantine. Very, very close matchup there. Excellent plays on both sides. Really fun to watch. That was a good one. That's a good one. People should definitely watch that match later. Let's see. You assume boss fight is going to make beginners take marks off. I'm right. So, map 2, if you forgot, it will be Quarantine with a set map pool for the tournament. Sand, Quarantine, Bazaar. Away team able to choose to be Volk if they so desire on map 2, and lo and behold, they are taking it. So, this is a pretty good map. Definitely way different than the old Quarantine that we used to know and love. I think that this new one is arguably better. I think it's a bit more interesting. I think maybe some less objectives would be good. As there's like 25,000 of them. I mean, just a few here and there. But they play out really fun. A lot of them play out really, really well, I think. And it's really fun to see how these teams have to adapt to these new situations and what amounts to, can we say like 50% new map? 60? I don't know what the correct ratio would be, but it definitely plays differently than the old Quarantine, and we'll see how they choose to do this one. Still got, looks like one player still hasn't come in here, but will be soon. What is everyone's thoughts on that first map? That was really awesome to see such amazing strategy and thoughts go into a custom map round or map. And again, like when you play in a pub on a custom, it's not gonna be like playing in a VRML match. And we saw that. You would not have seen such crazy and effective plays like we did on that map. I mean, especially like those defensive, really defensive kind of ambushy positions from boss fight worked really, really well, and I think ultimately helped them get their map win. Beginners though, no slouch. Going for what I would argue, and I guess it's kind of laughable saying a meta for a custom map, but going for what is a bit more of the meta, going for those higher ground areas, getting those wonderful picks. Wonderful 1v3 from Killinger, and some really excellent grenade throws and C4 throws on both sides. Really shows the effect of wonderful positioning and utility usage. And on the counterpoint to that, both teams definitely aware of the dangers of those explosive devices. And you kind of could see if you go back and really study what they did, they really pulled back. They didn't go to the most obvious defensive position. They tried to hide back and let them waste their utility on them before they were actually making their concerted push. Words, I can do them. I can do them. Looks like we're pulling in Scooby-Doo on boss fight, coming in here to represent on his team, along with Woods 43 for beginners. Stepping in here. Should be a spicy matchup coming up soon. Looks like we're about to get started. Alrighty, round one about to get started, guys. Welcome everybody that's just joining in here. You got a explosive matchup for you today. Boss fight, beginners, both playing on the top of their game here, doing really, really well for themselves, and really putting the hurt to the opposite team. Definitely go back and watch that map one like I've been talking about. It was explosive to say the least. But anyways, let's see what's going on. We got a very strong north push coming out of beginners here. Coming up on this northern flank, we'll run into UC Death here, who's opted to choose to take this this center alleyway. Kind of exposed, but very powerful as well. You got a lot of vision and can pull behind the hill if you see them in time. Killinger, though, opting to go for a little bit more of a defensive play here. Let them see if they're going to do a kind of aggressive push, and does a really quick peek around the corner there. Possibly spots out UC Death, but UC Death definitely saw him. Let's see what UC Death can see here. You can see he has a pretty tight angle onto any kind of aggression here. Not able to quite see the semi-truck approach on the far north here unless he chooses to really, really expose himself. But it's hard to say what they're going to do. But just looking at their strategy right here, they're just looking for those early picks. They're not going to overly expose themselves. And we actually have a ground drone. Hey, little guy, where you going? Hey, little guy. No one can go up here without getting obliterated, but this guy can. You gonna see, buddy? Sorry, this was a VRML match, but now it's drone racing. Pretty awesome play to see that. Haven't seen Volt ground drone usage for some time. Will be quite effective for them as he is now up there where no one's going to really expect a small little drone to be, and get some great picks. Well, Killinger again peeking UC Death. I think he just called him out. And now he's going to have to make a choice here. Again, another peek. See what UC Death, when will he choose to take his shot here? They were very, very tough, hard shots to take, and I think that's what they were kind of looking for, trying to bait that out. Ooh, UC Death gets a nice headshot onto Killinger, or at least a kill and confirm. And you can see beginners flying away from that corner. They're done. They're done for that corner. They're going somewhere else. Maybe not. Who knows? Meanwhile, Radar Head and Smoils just a building apart. Smoils in the second story position, taking these single shots onto the roof, just trying to get some suppressive fire maybe up there, allowing his team to move up or have some kind of distraction. Again, they really haven't chose what to do here. UC Death able to pick up pause, but not enough to, well, through the smoke too. Not going to be able to confirm it. Icy Woods will be able to get the revive here. Unfortunate for him. So now they're kind of stuck here. They have less than 3 minutes left. They have a lot of ground to cover, and pretty much every angle is covered. So we're gonna have to see some excellent play from beginners here to pull this round back. Let's see.
Negative, I've still got eyes.
UC Death thinks they're still there, but they're not. Woods 43 might be able to get the drop on him if he continues to going around this corner here. Scooby-Doo in a possible position to stop him, but you never know. Smoil's able to pick up Legel. Viper trying to get some sniper action here, not able to quite get a shot on the Smoils, who is on this kind of south street here. He is kind of exposed. Viper continues to push out. He's pushing out. He's going for the pick. He doesn't quite get it. Pulls behind cover. Smoils, though, using the you know, those guns to maximum effectiveness. Radar Head, though, going for the pick onto him. Radar Head picking up Smoils there with some support from Viper. Really good move, teamwork, tactics on both sides. Radar Head pulling around, then picking up Pause, and then firing at you, Icy Woods, but running out of ammo at the most inopportune moment.
Killed Smiles as well. Echo 3.
Echo 3. What are these call-outs? Radar Head picking up Icy Woods on the APC. Oh, let's see. Woods 43.
West Alley.
Woods 43 calling out an enemy to his non-existent team, all obliterated by the likes of Radar Head. Nice snapfire from Woods 43, able to pick up Scooby-Doo, but again, they all know where he is, and we can see Viper Head moving up on a position. Radar Head is actually really far from objective, so Woods 43 able to come out ahead onto Viper. He's in a great position to go for a cap. Ooh, we could have seen him there, just narrowly missing. Oh my gosh, it's so tight. Don't have much time left. Ooh, gosh, you can feel the tension. Comes up and around over this. Viper, though, dropped down. Woods 43 not going to be able to find him. 30 seconds left. Oh, just taken out by Radar Head as he jumped off that roof there, going for the back cap. That was really great matchup. UC Death in this back alleyway, able to really hold down all of defenders, or all of the defenders or attackers, just by sitting here and you know, creating some fire onto this corner where we saw Pause, where we saw Killinger just stuck there for minutes trying to deal with him, but not able to quite get the shot onto him. A really great spot and just play from UC Death there, forcing beginners to really push quite aggressively. We did see some good picks from Smoils from that kind of north or south street, working by himself too, so doing really well, using that LMG with I believe it's 250 rounds to beat kind of his second buddy, just by suppressing everything. Any kind of danger, put that gun on there and dump like 40 rounds on it, forcing them to keep their heads down. You know, using those larger guns with the big ammo pools can be a force multiplier when you're having to play alone, or get cut off from your team because maybe your battle buddy died. So worked out really well. Awesome round from both teams. We'll see what happens. I mean, Woods got really close to the objective, and there was so many moments where both of those players nearly saw each other. They just missed each other, both trying to go fast and really concerned about the objective. Arguably, if Viper died, we would have seen a cap, and who was left? I think it was Radar Head would probably been capped on. So could have gone either way. Right when I do it. Why? Last minute drop, looks like. Raider Head, though, going from that map 1 clutch 1v1 win to doing pretty well for himself. One round getting 4 kills. Kind of a beast. Looks like they got their drop and should be starting shortly, everybody. looks like we're gonna get started for reals this time. See how beginners choose to defend this objective. Getting pretty aggressive here. Killinger immediately pulling out, able to pick up Legel there as he crossed the street. Icy Woods in a great position. Smoils already on the north angle, shooting down over into the kind of the southeast area. And now Bossfight is kind of on the defensive as beginners are doing arguably a very unbeginners-like thing as far as the urban legends go. Getting quite aggressive as Smoils just continues his rampage gunning through the back area. Scooby-Doo and Viper will have to be on the lookout here for that LMG of death, just narrowly missing Viper. What's going on? What's going on? What's 43 taking up a position near the gas station here. Radar head going for a cross. Killinger just about to get on target here.
What angle are you watching?
Oh, it's gonna hear him. He's in such a tight angle that Radar head is actually in the clear as far as we know. Woods 43 not in a position to try and stop him. Gonna be really tough, honestly, unless Icy Woods able to support.
Because I'm not watching them from the middle or from ambulance.
Now Radar head hearing all these comms, knowing that he's still, you know, hidden right now, but he's gonna have to deal with possibly 2 or 3 defenders, as this is a pretty critical area going towards the objective. Icy Woods taking some shots, catching Scooby-Doo's cross, and maybe possibly catching Viper's cross. He's making that decision. You can kind of see that indecision from him. He's not quite sure if he wants to try for that one. He's now walking across with his gun up, kind of a half measure there. Maybe take some shots onto the enemy if they choose to try and engage him. You see Death there trying to get some shots onto possibly Killinger or possibly Icy Woods. Not going to be able to pick up anybody, but does create some audio cover for Radar head as a sneaky deaky approach here. Catches Icy Woods there. He is now known. Killinger knows that they are below him right now. It's got some kind of utility coming out. Smoke goes right below Killinger. Should create some kind of distortion for him. Now Killinger comes out. Trade comes out. Killinger and Radar head both go down. They are out of this fight for this round. You see Death pushing across, but Woods 43 responding to all this gunfire and all this combat, pulls forward to get closer to the objective, able to catch UC Death before he could sneak in behind Pause and Smoils. Let's see if Woods is gonna re-peek to get that refrag. Maybe, maybe not. D4 goes off, nobody nearby. Smoils, though, looks like he might be the next one in line for some kind of action here. Pulled back to the semi-truck, using the distance on the map to his advantage. Got really aggressive at the beginning and then moved into a more defensive position, but not right all the way back, mind you. He's using the space of the map to his advantage. Keep ambushing him. Keep using the advantage of being Volk. And they're running out of time. They have 2 minutes 30 seconds left, and Pause, great position to stop any kind of forward and push onto the objective. Smoils covering the far north. There is kind of a window here through Tank Courtyard. If they're really sneaky, they could use to their advantage and get in behind Pause, and honestly even Cap, but not necessarily an easy one to see, especially from our attacker side, but it kind of looks like Scooby-Doo's going that way. Woods actually, no, Woods is covering that kind of a side-on angle here. He's a pretty pivotal position. If he doesn't keep watching it, it could turn bad for their team. And they don't have much time left. Ooh, oh. Oh, come on, you saw him. You saw Pause. Come on, Scooby. Come on. Yep, right there, right there. Nope. Oh, so close. That black uniform paying dividends for Pause, keeping him hidden and concealed from the lights of Scooby-Doo. Look how hard it is to see him. I bet he knows. Cheeky. Meanwhile, Viper and Smoils here about to come into contact. Viper behind Smoils, able to catch him. Nice shot onto his back. Clearing up yet another. Pause, taking out Scooby-Doo as he pushed up, going in for the straight in. And now there's one boss fight left, one basically inconsequential UC death downed over there. Viper, no way he's going to be able to do that. He's just going to have to go for something spicy. He's going to have to just go in there and try and get those kills, maybe even go for a cap. See what he chooses to do here. Checking the code. He's got 30 seconds left. We're maybe going through the backup objective, get that pick, and then try to for the cap there. Looks like he's got some utility ready to go. Try to, you know, even the odds just a little bit by using the tools available to him. Doesn't catch Woods though. He doesn't have enough time. Goes in towards objective. Does not have his gun out. Gets taken out by the likes of Pause. Good round. Beginners bringing this back to a 1-1. Definitely not surprising. Beginners, very, very potent team on defense. But what is surprising was that insane play. We saw Killinger pushing forward, able to get that early pick on that cross, create some indecision in the push-up boss fight. And then Smoils, just marathon, man, running all the way across the map, nearly getting a pick on Viper, at least keeping his head down, and then pulling back to a nice defensive position. So sometimes playing against your own stereotype can be extremely as effective as the enemy team probably played you several times, especially in these higher MMR matchups, able to really just get kind of, lazy is not the word, but they just get so comfortable with how your team plays against them that they don't expect those kind of crazy plays. And it worked really well, I'd say, for beginners on that one. Sorry, I can't keep the commentary up the whole time. Solo casting, and there's just so much to talk about during the round. It's starting to get to me. It's starting to get to me a little bit. But kudos to my other caster brethren. I can't even imagine how difficult it is to just continue casting for an entire final, for example, or a B tournament or any of those. We actually have a pretty awesome tournament coming up. Not directly VRML, but supported by the VRML, the Hugs charity tournament, which is happening this coming Saturday. Should be a really freaking awesome matchup with supporting charity. We got several VRML casters going on there and some scrim casters. Please do show up and support all our people there. There will be opportunities for some giveaways as well. Or sweeps, what's the word, like raffles for you guys. Support charity, maybe get like a stock out of it, and just support those children that have cancer at such a young age. It just really sucks, man. So please do show up, at least watch those gameplay from our caster team, and the scrim casters. Should be an awesome matchup here. Anyways, moving to the game here, Legel picking up Pause. Nice pick as he runs back into the crash building there. Killinger not in a position to get that refrag, which will give Boss Fight their first pick on this map without any reprisal. Viper, though, trying to get a little cheeky there. Kind of even sounded like full auto sniper action. Not quite accurate enough there. Not able to pick up Killinger, and now he's going to have to worry about kind of double peeking here. I guess it was Icy Woods he was facing. But able to get that good call out there. Killinger picking up Scooby-Doo there. Bringing this back to a 4v4. Viper, though, just keeping that suppressive fire going. Meanwhile, Smoils and Legel's getting into combat here. Oops.
Building inside, second floor.
Smoils should come into contact with Legel. Flash goes out. Smoils hiding as best he can. Comes up, Takes out Legel though. The second flash, not quite able to do it when the bullets are coming right at your face. Brings this to a 4v3. And they are just slowly making their way towards objective. A lot of fights happening away from the central objective. Pretty interesting, honestly. Viper, though, now having to deal with quite a bit of area that he's going to have to cover all by himself here on the far west. And, I mean, the whole team is just so pushed out. They are not near the objective at all. And if anybody sneaks in, gets behind their defensive line, it's going to be really devastating for boss fight here. Woods picking up UC Death, and the first gap in the defense has been started. Radarhead getting ultra aggressive, going through the tank courtyard here, trying to get a pick on the likes of Icy Woods. His aggressive play not working out. Does get a kill, but does get taken out by Smoils there, able to get that repick. Nobody on objective. There's only one boss fight left. It almost looks like Viper knows this and is going for you know, trying to die. He's way off objective. But beginners, though, don't really seem to be pushing their luck here. If they have a good kill count here, though, they will know that they can continue pushing and go for the cap. But nope, it looks like they're going to win on kills here. Killinger coming up onto the expert callouts as Smoils able to pick them up yet another point. Crazy, guys. Crazy. Boss fight. Where are you going? They were just getting ultra aggressive there. They were just pushing up. They were going in and behind beginners' lines, trying to throw a wrench in their plans, and it almost worked. Not quite able to fully get it, as we did see some excellent team play from beginners there. Refrag from Smoils. And then again, the kind of refrag again from Killinger shows that, you know, teamwork is key in this game. Beginners have that in spades. Also thank our sponsors for helping us keep this wonderful action coming your way. Gives us some sweet ass stuff in order to get some really sexy voice quality. Some really cool products as well that you know and love. All right, round 4 about to start up here. We got the quick spawn. Let's see if they choose to try and get this early pick here. Looks like we're going to have some drone action from Scooby-Doo, something that we have seen from Boss Fight quite a few times here. Looks like nobody's going for that early pick. UC Death and Viper on the back hill here, just maybe trying to get a pick onto anybody running onto the roof early. Killinger looks like he's going for it.
One rooftop.
Shots ring out, not quite able to get him. And now they know their spawn, so we're going to have to see how that one plays out. UC Death able to pick up pods there on the back side of the north wall. Really interesting. The defense is entirely stacked on the western side. It's going to allow Scooby-Doo to continue his push, but if he continues going, he's going to have to deal with pretty much the entire enemy team here. Killinger on the back wall of the center rooftop building. Going to have to defend that flank pretty much by himself unless he calls for some help from Woods. But everyone's just kind of facing towards Scooby-Doo here, who's creating a little bit of a fuss for the defenders here. Smiles just bouncing around on this back wall, going on the north wall, going back into the alley, just using every opportunity to get those angles on the attackers here. But it looks like we got a minute as the attackers are trying to get in position. Looks like they're going for some sneaky breaky sniper action. I assume is Viper. Nope, not Viper. Viper, letting me down, man. Letting me down. The UC Death? Nope, it's Radarhead. I know nothing, guys. And he doesn't even have a scope. Trust nothing, I'd say. Hasn't used his drone yet. Probably waiting for the late
If you can just get into
round.
Parking garage exit closest to the center burning, you'll get a kill.
So close
I'm
to
not
icy
shooting at him.
woods.
I can see him, but if I
He's not sure that you can get that really tight shot. Can be very useful to have your friendly do it. Oh, is he gonna try for it? Oh, come on.
are you on my side right now? Just come. No, don't go ultra wide. Just come to the fucking parking garage exit. If you plant your feet on the exit, you'll see him.
Some good call outs from Scooby-Doo, trying to get his team into a position to get a guaranteed kill.
Sandy rooftop.
Sometimes teamwork takes a little bit of time. Ooh.
Missed it.
Viper trying for the snipey shot. Doesn't quite get it there. Scooby-Doo now responding in kind. Everybody, Icy Woods is now on high alert. Oh, he almost exposed himself. Woods going prone here, trying to keep himself as low as possible, just getting out of dodge here, knowing that his position is borked. Even if he gets a kill there, he almost definitely is going to be caught himself. Meanwhile, UC Death has pushed up all the way on the east side here, and if he's able to get past Woods, will only be in a great position to move towards the objective. Smoil should be pretty quick though. But it looks like we might see some confrontation here. Grenade from Legel comes out. Scooby-Doo able to pick up Icy Woods there, not able to quite get out of the danger zone. Now Smoils and Legel's and just about to be in contact here. Utility coming out from Legel. The Legel flash is coming out. Smoils getting low, but it's not going to work out for him here. He's going to have to start firing, but he doesn't. Legel able to pick that up. Opening up beginner's defense, and Woods up here on the second story is probably going to be pivotal for this defense here. Killinger on the back wall trying to deal with the likes of Scooby-Doo and Viper at the same time. Woods in a key defensive push there, able to support his friendly, but at the same time UC Death able to eventually get that kill. Now Woods 43, last member left, in a good position to defend the objective. Drops down on the Legel, gets the confirmed there. Now he's the last member up, and he knows if he runs towards the objective, he's going to be nailed. Radar head up on the roof here basically has him locked down, and now he's going to have to defend this objective. But the problem is, if they sneak good enough, they can get on the objective and cap without him seeing. So he's going to have to be a little bit aggressive here on his defense. But he's going to be caught from UC Death here if he continues to stay in this spot.
Yeah.
Ooh. UC Death coming around the corner, able to pick up Woods 43 just barely before he got in cover. Explosive back and forth gameplay from both of these teams. I am not lying, they are just at each other's throats here. Tit for tat, not willing to give 1 inch to the enemy without making him fight long and hard for it. Pretty good kill spread on both sides, but as we all know, kills don't really mean anything. It's about the teamwork. It's about helping each other get the most effective trades. preferably without exposing yourself to counterfire by using teamwork and communication, team tactics, like to use the suppressive fire and other tools and utility available to you in order to get the most opportune trades, allowing your team to eventually win just by numbers, or even get onto objective and go for that just cap. Rolling into round 5 here. 2-2. Could go anyone's it could be anyone's game. We got a pretty quick spawn here on the kind of western side here. UC Death, if he continues around this corner, will be probably picked off by Smiles, but it looks like he's gonna opt to go for more of an ambush position. Meanwhile, Dr. Killinger, Woods 43, and Icy Woods pushing through the center here. Woods able to get it burning. A-OK. Oz and Smoils slowly but surely wrapping around, covering one another, allowing the other to push up while one covers. Really good team tactics from beginners, as we all know what we could expect. Radar Head did get into a really nice position in the mall building here on the east side, able to watch for any of those kind of aggressive, or not even aggressive, but Overwatch positions from the roof, but no one's choosing to take that on beginners, instead opting for a bit more of a pushed up attack, choosing to take the high ground of burning instead. See the map here, they are all so close but so far away at the same time. Smiles and UC Death might get into contact anytime now. Killinger just looking for, you know, some kind of pick. 5v5, 5 up on both sides. It could go either way, and this is the new objective too. This is the brand new one. It was moved from the basement of Mall, Raider Head, and Icy Wood trade. Icy Wood's coming a little bit on top on that one though. Never seen this one actually played after the change. Really hard to cap this one, honestly, though. Dillinger gets that revive off of, or onto Woods. Scooby-Doo just watching for a far eastern flank, maybe able to push off and support if needed, but the center approach is fairly weak with only Legel pretty much watching that one. UC Death has a lot to deal with in the east side of objective. Woods 43 just sitting here, open for a pick, and might be able to catch the Legel eventually. Move into a new position. Nice snipe from Viper, picking up pause. Wells not willing to make this move forward. UC Def probably still hidden. Three minutes left. Looks like we got a far flank from Killinger on the northeast side. Woods picked up by Scooby.
I just killed someone center burning. It might have been a friendly. He was totally black.
Not able to really get that confirm. Icy Woods should be able to get the revive.
There's an enemy somewhere near center office, near where radar was.
Bad call out from Scooby-Doo. Looks like Woods should be able to get that revive.
The guy on the left.
Using the some team tactics here. Grenade comes out, but way too short for that one.
You ready?
Get me.
Revive comes out. Killinger exposing himself on the far east here. Scooby-Doo has a lot to deal with, knows that he's about to be surrounded, gets on the backside of this building. See what Killinger chooses to do now.
But there's still 1 minute 50.
Ledgel picking up Icy Woods in center. Burning Craig comes out. Oh, just a little too short for Scooby-Doo. Viper is on support for him as well, so this is going to be tough for him. UC Death, meanwhile, in a great position. Scooby-Doo picked up by Killinger on the backside. Moyle's been in this building this entire time, and then pretty much his team has been killing everybody else while he stays there, just hoping for some kind of rotation. And it might play out for UC Death here, or play out for Smoils here. But no, it looks like he's gonna... Smiles is gonna move first. Picking up Smiles and from his little ambush positions. Woods, though, getting kind of close to objective. Viper completely surrounded, calling for support. Woods 43 coming from the hospital. Killinger up on the hills. This is going to be tough for Viper to defend, as there's so many angles that they're going to have to watch here. Killinger basically can freely move forward towards objective. Viper almost certainly has to die in order to get this kind of cap off. In fact, and there we go. Woods gets it. He gets downed himself. But Killinger is near objective and could actually go for a cap right now if he so desired. But instead, opting for the more defensive play, getting them yet another point. Masterful play from Killinger there. Knowing that, yeah, he had an opportunity for that cap, but going for that kill, knowing that UC Death was going to have to bring himself closer to objective, which is arguably the right move, because, you know, one frag, one flash could be the difference between you winning a point and losing a point. A lot of planning going on. This possible match point for beginners. A lot on the line for them here. Currently 1-0 in boss fight's favor. Very, very narrow clutch from them. 1v1 situation, 3-3 map decider on sand. Narrowly getting them that first map win. Folks already coming out from beginners. Throwing early, trying to cover this cross here. Very reminiscent of 1.7 quarantine. Oops, sorry there. Everyone makes it across A-OK. The push from boss fight. Push from boss fight just a little too slow to catch that early rotation there. A lot of callouts coming between Viper and Scooby-Doo, working together, make sure everyone's aware of what one another's watching. Good spread from boss fight as well. They're getting a total surround on the entire map, using all of the map to their advantage, probably knowing that they have a good chance of getting map control. There's that guy. Okay, he's all the way on the far east. It looks like it's Ledgel. Let's see what's going on with Ledgel. Shots from Viper. Probably just trying to see if we can get a cheeky kill. Hard to see in these windows though, they're very, very dark. Meanwhile, the far east cross looks like it's going to be effective. Ledgel picking up pause. Ooh, shooting at Killinger, just missing him, running up to the second story. His position should be less effective though if he stays up there. Let's get the revive off.
Legel's probably aware of that. That's what probably happened there. Icy Woods, though, in a great position to try and combat Scooby-Doo. Flash comes out perfectly on the Woods here. Now Woods is in trouble. He's shooting, just trying to shoot and stop him from coming around the corner, but it's not going to work. Scooby-Doo able to come around, get his kill from using that flash. Miles, though, going to have to work on his own defense here. Now having to covering his own side. Frag comes out just a tad too far. It was so close. A little bit more, or a little less of a throw, or a little more of a cook, and it would have been on target. All that comes out from Smiles. Legel again is just trying to get that pick onto pause. Can you get it 2 for 2? Gonna be able to make it across. No one's gonna be really looking for his push across there. Everyone's looking kind of a different direction here. Very, very concerned about Scooby-Doo. Smiles picked up the UC Death though. And now Scooby-Doo is making his play, able to run around, get the refrag on Smiles, but not before Woods can get the refrag back onto him. Legel, though, using all this commotion, just narrowly make his way up. Killinger kind of looks like he seems like he's aware of this breach in the line here. Now watching very attentively for some kind of push. Legel's trying to peek up and over the building here. Now it looks like he's going for a frag play or a flash play, but instead it's going to hit himself. Looks like Killinger is not going to take the bait though. Killinger sees Viper, doesn't quite get him. Now Viper's going for some cheeky prone action, but Killinger pulling back, getting into cover, forcing them to come up in a different doorway there, not letting Viper use that scope to his advantage. You see Legel here trying to wishes in this moment that he was taller. Really hard to see up over that those windows though. Less than a minute and a half left. Possibly could catch Killinger here depending on the angle that he takes. See how Legel chooses to attack, and he's going in hot. He's going in hot on Killinger. Will Killinger be able to respond in time? Pause in a good position to support, but he has to be aware of this push. Pause very, very careful to not expose himself. They're so close. Killinger's finally peeking around. Legel looking the wrong way at the wrong time. Just catching a glimpse of Pause. Now he's going in high. He hears the fire from Killinger. Kills Pause. Kills Killinger. Excellent play from Legel, using that distraction of the fire from Killinger to push forward. Viper able to get the pick onto Woods, giving Boss Fight the win and bringing again this to a 3-3. No! I did it again! All right, sorry for that. I left the overlay up the entire round. It was a really awesome round too. I have no excuse. All right, well, that round was really good. Really excellent play on both sides. You could see them both using the maximum amount of time that they had available to them. The push that they eventually made through Hospital from Boss Fight, very effective.
they were able to work together. They didn't push their luck, and they allowed Legel to get in and behind and create a breach, allowing the rest of their team to push up, and eventually Viper grabbing the last kill next to objective. Very good play from all of them. It was super tense watching that in the in the hospital there. For those of you in the past, sorry. I'm sorry, Nolly. I'm not giving you any money though. You can give me money. Hashtag please donate. Help the casters out. Help the whole VRML team out. If you support us, $1 a day can help Mono not forget the stupid overlay. This time, no overlay. Round 7. Everything on the line here. Bossbite could pick this series from beginners, or beginners could grab their first map and bring this to a tiebreaker that we all hope for. Miles and Killinger pushing up on the south side here. The rest of the team just behind them, not really making any aggressive movements here. Looking again for some kind of defensive flanks, only allowing this forward team to really get any kind of movement. Scooby might come into contact with Smoils here, but looks like Scooby-Doo is opting to stay behind the wall in cover. Scooby-Doo's got some kind of ground drone too. No idea where it is. Where are you, little buddy? Here. Here. We need a little UI thing to help us find where the ground drone is. I want to be able to like click on it and see its little view. Be really cute. Anyways, in the meantime, the rest of beginners have pushed up to the northwest here, gotten to great position, but they're gonna have to deal with quite a bit of a sneaky defensive position, something you don't see every day. Legel all the way back here behind this bull, and ready to defend and duck in this building if he takes too much fire. He might come into contact soon. Icy Woods taking Crash Building. First shots ring out of the match. Legel picking up Icy Woods. Nice tight shot onto the roof there. Woods, though, looks like he's going to go for a rotation onto him, but Legel opting to go as far back as he can in order to try and stop himself from getting seen by Woods, but it wasn't fast enough, and Woods gets that refrag, able to now push on this western flank. Miles starting his push up, made it to the center mall building. Gonna go through it, maybe try and get a pick before he tries to fight Scooby-Doo, who's been on his tablet this entire time. Must be watching this angle from cover from somewhere. I want to see a little drone right here just bouncing up and down. That'd be good. But no time for that, as we now have Woods 43 continuing his push on the west flank. Will be able to take control of gas station if he so desires. He just needs to clear it first. Smoils and Killinger again, just very much concerned about big rocks here. There's a lot of good defensive spots for them to take in this tower if you can make it behind big rocks, behind any of these kind of small cover spots, the garbage can right on the wall like Scooby-Doo is. A lot of opportunities though, but UC Death has spotted the western push from Woods 43 and a very, very common defensive spot, very hard to see, very hard to fight, as he can fight from complete cover with only his head exposed. And now Woods 43 is going to have to deal with that. But the push is happening here. Killinger about to get ready to get started. Utility in hand. Fred coming around the corner here. He hears that coming out, and the trade comes out. Killinger and Scooby-Doo go down. Both players down and out for the count. Smoils go. Wow, Smoils doing a very long rotation, going all the way around the north flank here, opting to let Killinger deal with it on his own. But Killinger had a good account for himself there. Woods 43 and UC Death coming to contact. UC Death coming out ahead. Pretty easy to see how that went down. The heavy cover that UC Death have, a little bit more superior than this Windows cover. Which are quite exposed and, or not really exposed, but very visible. Radar head and center burning here, trying to watch back towards objective, but if he's not careful, Smiles should be able to get a shot onto his rear and get a free kill out of him. But would be pretty, ooh, it looks, oh, 2 drops. Oof. I'm not sure how many of those were after death or before death, but Moyles, though, nonetheless, all by himself here. Less than 40 seconds left, but you can still see that he still expecting some kind of defensive play, and he's not just running in there, he's looking for those picks. Misses radar head though, but it might not be important as there's less than 25 seconds left on the round. Kill count is probably quite off. Sees UC Death, can't quite get him. Just continuing his push there, and not UC Death forcing him to come to him. Coming around and be able to get the trade, but with that boss fight, pick up yet another round, pick up the map, and win this series. No overlay. Round 7. Oops. Everything on the line here. Trying to respond to Smithy. Clipping the worst thing possible. What's wrong with you, man? You're gonna make a mono cry. Okay, pizza's good. But one more map to go. See what they choose to do here. Let's jump to a quick intermission, and when they're ready to go, we'll be right back with you. We're back, everybody. Round number 1, map 3. Kiat objective. And we see boss fight playing the defense when beginners had choice. So seeing Kiat, they probably opted to go for Marsoc in a surprise mix-up. We got the southeast objective spawn here, or whatever, cross. Woods 43, Pause, and Stragic going more of the eastern side. Killinger and Smoils taking more of the center. Shots already ringing out. The spawn is no Scooby in a nice position to try and counter their push. Killinger picks up Scooby, but Scooby gets the down on the Woods. Will be able to get revived almost for sure. That said, maybe not. Legel going very aggressive on the street here. Gets caught out by Smoils. And an excellent defensive play, and we've been seeing that this whole game, and it finally really paid off here as Smoils able to catch that defensive rotation from Legel. Now beginners have a nice spread all over the eastern side here. Should be able to get a pretty good position and surround around this objective, and bot side are going to have to be on their toes with 2 down and 5 beginners up. Revive coming out here. It's going to be tough. This is arguably the hardest objective in official maps for the defenders to come out ahead on, I would say. And I think a lot of the league would agree with me here. I mean, even just like look at Viper here. He's pretty exposed from anyone coming across here. But sometimes you got to do stuff like that in order to come out ahead. Oops. Not who I wanted. Miles always so attentive, always just sitting back, trying to get those picks, but when it comes down to it, is able to go really hard too, and we've seen that. Both sides of the Smoils. And his excellent drawings. Killinger coming around the corner, just trying to get a pre-kill onto somebody, but Viper is not there. Now he's coming around the corner there. Viper doesn't know which way to look, as Killinger, Pause are both on the opposite sides of him, and he doesn't know what to do. It almost looks like Pause is doing that on purpose to try and keep him guessing. Some shots from Smiles coming out. Pause going up onto the second story here, trying to get a pick, doesn't quite get one. Viper staying up below, pointing up to the roof for any of his friendlies looking his way, saying, hey look, he's up there guys, please someone shoot him, I feel really surrounded guys, come on. Nobody really willing to go all the way around all around this corner though, and fully commit into a spot where they can actually engage Viper. He's getting close. And if Viper's not careful, Pause is going to get a nice angle on him. Viper is now kind of looking the right way, at least with his gun. Viper coming out ahead on that one. Nice reactions from him. He wasn't even looking that way, really. He just had the peripheral of his vision, able to see him, but no time for that. Is Stragic nearly missing a shot onto UC Death. Or maybe Radar Head. Radar Head getting quite peaky, though. Woods able to push up. He's now getting on the front side of objective here. UC Death might be able to see him, but honestly, Woods is in a great opportunity to push up. But Viper getting aggressive, taking out Stragic. Woods getting up and above objective. He is now in a capable position. He's got his tablet out. Radar Head has no idea. No one has any idea. We're probably going to see a cap from beginners on round 1. Maybe. Come on, Woods, you got this. Don't make noise, Woods. No. There we go. Beginners get it. First cap. Beginners take 2 points. That's probably stings for a boss fight. But that's how Kiat goes. You try your hardest, you do really well, but there's just like 500 cap spots you have to worry about, and it's just so hard to cover with 5 players. Like, I feel like
with 10 you could defend that. Not 5 really. That's a tough one. Good moves from Woods there. Definitely had to clench his little booty, I think, then as he ran up those stairs. Messed up the code maybe, but he got it in the end, getting this 2 points for beginners, even though they were down in the kill count. So, or I think they were. Good work for them. Someone better buy him ice cream or something. Need some water. Smiles doing really well for himself. You could see, even though he was more of the support position for his team, able to pick up 3 kills there and really weed down the defenders. Maybe. I guess there's been... Yeah. There's only 1 round. One round, but 2 points up. Now Boss Fight, we'll see if they can replicate that cap from beginners.
This Operation Human Shield is just sending Smalls out. Big bullet sponge.
Tragic has the right idea. Shots already ringing out. UC Death able to pick Killinger. Pushing up quite aggressively into the backside of the objective here. Radar picking up Smiles, pushing up and getting into a nice defensive position here. The bullet shield did come true here. We'll see if Stragic can use that to his advantage to get that repick, but he's going to have to deal with Viper and Radar Head at the same time here. And you can see here that with Killinger down, everyone is looking in. They're worried about a fast cap from the center. Oof. Tough one. Radar Head and Stragic very, very close to each other. Definitely heard one another's movement, but Stragic making sure to cover his backside across the street here before he deals with Radar Head. Nearly frags himself there. Meanwhile, Woods 43 in a nice defensive position in this crack here to try and defend Stragic's side. Stragic getting very aggressive, trying to fight across the way with Viper. Neither player coming out ahead here. Radar Head not quite ready to commit to pushing up and supporting Viper. Instead, just opting to stay in this building and look for some kind of fast rotation here. But Stragic, if he's not really careful here, Legel will be able to come around his backside and get a shot on him. Looks like Legel not quite ready to push up either. Nice trade. Radar Head and Stragic going down, both resable, but Radar Head has Viper right nearby for that and will be able to get him. Legel going down to, or Pause going down to Legel. Viper getting the revive on Radar Head, and Radar Head picking up Stragic and Pause. And Legel is on the objective. He then takes out Woods. Boss Fight get a point on the board. Great game going on so far. Beginners not quite able to defend that objective, getting really kind of aggressive on the defense, honestly. Had Killinger with what looked like he was pushing, maybe get in here, getting some kind of ambush position, but Boss Fight did a great job cutting off any possible forward angles that they could take. Cut off the available map for the defenders to push up in and punish any kind of aggressive push up from beginners, and it worked out really well for them there. Very, very bloody. All in all, good teamwork. They used the 3v2 advantage over here in the East Courtyard in order to whittle down Smoils and Stragic giving them that opportunity to push forward. What eventually got him that kill is then Legel was able to come through the back and go on a murderous rampage.
Guys, my left hand, like, yeah, go rock and roll. Hunky dory, Jack and Ori.
Round 3 going out. We had a cap in round 1. New objective again. Smoke coming out, allowing that cross to come out safely. Pause, Killinger, and Strategic coming up here any moment here to try and cut this map in half. Maybe catch Radarhead and Scooby in this cross, but nobody is watching, allowing Scooby-Doo and Radarhead to really push forward, get into their preferred defensive positions, kind of further up. Nobody actually on objective. You see Death basically, oh, secret agent pup. Woods 43 suppressing across, allowing Stragic and Killinger to push forward. Everyone is crossing the street here. Pretty much everyone is crossing south into the back area, which will put Scooby-Doo and Radarhead out of position here. Fast and then slow, fast and then slow. Beginners able to really use the pulse of the game and play to their tempo. Killinger pushing up here. Not quite catching anybody here. Maybe Scooby-Doo.
Possible audio on me.
You see Death calling out Killinger's position here, or at least that he's close. Scooby-Doo, you can see, is starting to do a little bit of a peek here. Might see an engagement between Killinger and Scooby-Doo anytime now. Oh. Oz picking up Legel. Dr. Killinger just missing Scooby-Doo, who now knows he's in a dangerous position. Frag comes out way too close, nearly grabs UC Death, who goes on the aggression, and they pick a trade for that. Stragic narrowly just sitting there behind the car, like just letting it happen. What's going on? Just watching for a flank, and good move from him as Radarhead is actually flanking. I think Stragic saw that movement, tried to come out into play, gets the call out for his team. Now he's pushing up and away from the danger zone. Scooby-Doo nearly gets him. Grazed shot onto his shoulder there. Not quite enough. Woods 43 though, coming around the backside of Viper, should be able to pick him up. Couldn't quite go on that one. Pod's picking up Radarhead. Everyone's like doing stuff really far away from each other, guys. What's with that? What's with that? Now Scooby-Doo, last defender up, in a good position to defend this objective. He just has to worry about Pause coming around the backside, and with a little bit of distraction should be able to get the cap off here. If beginners can work together, use their 4-man advantage to try and get a cap here, they could win this map just straight up. Kind of see the planning going on here. Everyone just getting ready and getting into position to make their move all at the same time. Oh. But Woods picks up Scooby-Doo. Gets them another point on the board. I'd like everybody to just look at the scoreboard right now. Look at how close all these rounds have been, or all these matches have been. I mean, there's been some of these kind of situations like the 3-1 or whatever, or 3-2s or whatever, but every time it's come up to a 3-3. So I'm wondering what's going to happen here. Exciting series of games all in all. I love seeing these guys play, and I'm glad I was able to pick up this round, or this series, don't get to see the EU matchups all too often. So much on the line here, not wanting to give up this point for free. All this planning going on between both of these teams, but it looks like we're about to kick off here. See how they choose to defend this one.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Let's see how it plays out. Pause, Stragic, and Killinger looking like they're going into more of a forward position here. Killinger and Stragic crossing the street, worried about any kind of players cutting them off. Killinger very, very aware of Legel's possible position. Smoils picking up UC Death, though, and Killinger in a really nice position, honestly, to catch any kind of aggressive movement from Legel. Pause picking up Radar Head. And just like that, Boss Fighter down to 3. Stragic in a nice forward position, looking through this tiny little crack here, looking for any kind of movement on the opposite side. Legel and Killinger just moments away from getting into contact with one another. Ooh, nearly gets taken out by Killinger there. Frag comes out, or no, smoke comes out. Expertly thrown, should be able to give him some good cover and allow him to rotate off that position freely. Stragic, you could see, gone into a secondary position to try and support that line, knowing that the smoke was covering Killinger's line. So good team play from there. Just emergent team play too. It's not even like a planned move, most likely. But that's what you see on these top teams, is this really excellent teamwork fluidly happening as these players have played with each other so often and know what to do at the right situation here. Scooby-Doo and Smoils getting into contact. Scooby-Doo, though, pulling out ahead there. Able to pick up Smoils in the building. Sharp eye from him. Meanwhile, Viper has crossed the street there. No time for that, though, as Legel is crossing on his own. Prone and firing. Suppressing. Grenade goes on target. Pause picking up Legel just before the grenade could go off. Good grenade from Stragic. Nonetheless, I will give you a commend for that one. Scooby-Doo firing some bullets down range towards Killinger's position, but Killinger really tight in on the defense here. Not going to quite be able to catch him there. You're really going to have to expose yourself to him or come around the backside, but pause here in this key kind of blue room objective near the objective here. Very key. Something that any attacking team will have to take out if they want to take this objective, as Pause is in a great spot just to defend the street here, but also push back onto objective if any smoke fishy business goes down. But for boss fight, 2v4, one player in the center market, one just kind of in the split street here, looking for some kind of rotation pick onto Stragic. Might work out. Why not? Ooh. Right here. Here's the moment. No. Stragic not willing to fully commit. He doesn't need to. He's in a great position to defend the objective, so as well run the timer out. Force Marsoc to push. Viper firing downrange anyway. Trying to get some kind of reaction from Stragic. Not able to quite get it there, as now both players, Scooby-Doo and Viper, very, very close to one another, linked up to push onto the objective alone. It's going to be tough, though. If they go on the south side, they're going to have to deal with the likes of Woods, who is in a great ambush position. Very hard to see. Something you definitely have to know and look out for. Just narrowly misses Scooby-Doo, but might get his chance here. Woods now exposed in the middle of the street here, having to deal with Scooby-Doo, who is very aggressively pushing on him, and Viper also in a great spot in order to try and support him if he continues pushing down the street.
This is what's called hiding in plain sight. Technically, he has the cover of that concrete barrier, but must feel very, very exposed here, using his PKM in order to get across the street safely. Scooby-Doo now rotating back to center here, getting into his old position, trying to maybe get some picks or any rotations on, from that. Woods narrowly making it away, and now is in a great defensive spot. All that work on that south alley now is basically nullified. Is now Viper and Scooby-Doo have to start again going down center street here. I mean, look how hard it would be to take out pause here. Very nice defensive position all the way in the back, knowing that his side is going to be covered from Woods and Killinger. And they just don't have time anymore. They don't have time to try and get these picks. They're just going to have to make a push. Shots ring out from Scooby. Not quite able to connect with anybody, but now he's moving. He knows that it's time to go. There's no time left. And he's actually trying to grab some more ammo maybe, or oh, some utility. Got a flat smoke, which could be very critical for this push here. Viper continuing his prone assault, guys. Prone assault. Great Agent Viper. It's tragic picking up Scooby-Doo as he continued that push there. Viper vowing to never stand up again. Oh, okay, well, he did it. No time. No time. And now he's just going to continue pushing here. Let's just jump onto him and see what he does. Going for picks, but doesn't quite know. It's a 1v4. Flash comes around the corner. He now, oh, gets taken out by Woods. Beginners pick up that round, giving them the win on Bazaar. Good matchup all in all. These teams played really, really well, and you can see from the scoreline, really, really close games in almost every respect. I think that the Marsoc choice on Bazaar from Beginners was calculated and a very, very good move. Trying to, taking what is a Marsoc advantage in the key odd objective, where a cap is very, very attainable, even from a team that doesn't normally go from caps. Really played well, gave them that 2-point advantage, giving them that momentum, allowing them to continue pushing forward, giving them that 4-1 win on Bazaar here. Definitely a strong map for Beginners all in all, but not to say that they're bad at any other map. I mean, just look at the scoreline. 3-4 on both of them, both coming down to that 1v1 clutch moment. Boss fight coming ahead slightly on both of those ones, but it could have gone either way, and it was super fun to watch. Really glad I was able to pick this one up and bring it to you guys. I hope everyone enjoyed that one because I had a lot of fun. Sorry for the overlay. I'm so sorry. I haven't done it in a long time, okay? But sometimes it happens, okay? Sometimes it happens. Anyways, this has been Beginners versus Boss Fight, brought to you by Monorchid. We'd like to thank the VR Master League for providing this format for you guys, the teams, our viewers, the moderators, our wonderful sponsors, and to all of you for just tuning in. Do show up for any more. We do have one more week of this, and we have the charity tournament next weekend, Saturday. It's going to be casted. You're going to see what I believe is 3 VRML channels and a smattering of scrimcasters. So do tune in for that. We're going to have some explosive games, all for charity. Super, super stoked for that one if you haven't figured that already. But anyways, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Have a good one.